Hello, everybody. Today we are talking to a very good friend of mine, Anita Tillmann. We've met long ago when Anita, when Anita invited me to the premium here in Berlin to show my collection when I was working on my own collection. And since then we've been friends and very close friends. And she's been founding the premium 20 years ago. It's been continuously expanding, and she was one of the key players really to push Berlin fashion and to get such a great attention to Berlin when it comes to fashion. So I'm very, very happy to talk to her today. And hello, Anita.
Hi. Generally, Germany is the biggest market in Europe. It's the biggest fashion market. It's the strongest fashion market in Europe. So it has, of course, a position and I would say, a leading role in the whole thing. For what Germany is not very famous is creativity. So there wasn't, over 20 years ago, also when we started, there was no value in creativity. And that has changed through globalization. So if you ask me, how does Germany do, I would say creativity is not a question of borders. It's global fashion, and it's much easier with technology, right? And with a certain mindset to reach out to the whole and global fashion community. I think this is a huge advantage and a chance many designers can take, but it's also hard because looking back, it was much easier to say, oh, we go for one market and we try this market and then we step out to the next one. It's not possible. Every designer who starts today, and the creativity must be globally. Okay, so that changed completely, and Germany changed. How I see the future, I'm sorry to say, this is not from fashion, is not in Berlin anymore. We decided to go to Frankfurt. We think we have to position fashion on a different level. So what we focus in Frankfurt is sustainability for sure, and innovation in technology. That is what we are doing there, and we are starting a new Fashion Week format in Frankfurt, which is not one single event, but it's a complete connected hybrid fashion event, which attracts the whole ecosystem of fashion. We just had 2 days ago the big press conference, which everyone can read at frankfurtfashionweek.com, because there is really mentioned what the plan is, how we build Frankfurt Fashion Week, why we think it's a new way of a fashion week. And I think it needs to be accountable, it needs to be digital, and it needs to be sustainable. And if we can help the fashion industry to put the right people together and to move it in direction of future being sustainable and innovative, this is our next big thing, and I think we're going to be busy for the next 20 years.
I think you're right. I mean, we need to, of course, look at German fashion not as Berlin fashion. So, I mean, Germany has a big tradition in fashion, but more of really commercial fashion, or on the other end of the spectrum, very artistic fashion. And I lived for 12 years in Antwerp, being surrounded by very, very creative minds as well, and making my collection very, very creatively, showing in Paris. And it is also to find the balance between these two movements of something very commercial and something super artistic. I think that this is what has developed in the past 20 years, and also thanks to you, Anita, that people have a different view on fashion. You know, if you saw fashion on German television in the past, it was crazy. You know, it was nudity and some recycled plastic bottles, etc. in the 90s. But it was really ridiculous as much as we had such great designers in Germany and also in the 90s with Jules Sander and also with Wolfgang Joch, we had great companies that were very fashion, and still fashion was seen as something crazy or something super commercial.
Well, as I mentioned before, we are moving the Fashion Week to Frankfurt, but as a whole, and we are very proud to say that we got a partnership with the United Nations with the Conscious Fashion campaign. It's the first time ever that that they do it, and so what we are building there and what we want to reach is Frankfurt. We are building in Frankfurt a platform, a forum where we invite all the actors and initiatives from all over the world to say, why instead of going and doing competition and going competition in a competitive way, we invite everyone to come there, because what we want is, we believe that 1 and 1 is 11. Instead of 1 and 1 is 2, everybody can do that. I'm not so bad in math, but I believe in a vision, and I believe in group of people and togetherness. And if we need to reach out, and we have to be faster, and to really make a difference, we should put our strengths together. That's what we will do in Frankfurt. What does it mean for our trade shows? We will do a new trade show, which is a B2B and B2C format. And what we want to reach out, that we link the suppliers, the sustainable suppliers, and to involve them with the designers, and also the designers together, that they can meet there. There will be a community space, there will be a content community stage where the people can meet and discuss about this. And one thing which is new, 5 of the 17 sustainable development goals have to be checked. Okay, they have to show it. So it's rather about show your purpose, show what's your vision for the future, be honest, be transparent, instead of putting just a rack of denims and showing what the price tag is. I think this is over. The price tags and the order we can do digitally, but it's about bringing the people together, because it needs to, we are humans, and we need the exchange and so on. So I think to discuss this and to involve everyone, we have to act. And until 2023, all of our brands and exhibitors from all 4 trade shows needs to follow the sustainability goals.
For us as a brand, and as an existing brand, it's always much more difficult, honestly, because you need to step-by-step change. You cannot turn a switch. That would damage your company probably pretty harshly. So we are really taking a lot of steps towards sustainability. I mean, there is so many topics that a brand that exists already for almost 45 years needs to now take care of and step-by-step change. And we've done a huge effort in the past 2 years already, really from packaging to materials to the way where we produce, etc., etc. So, but of course, it's not. We can turn a switch.
For the people who are not involved too much in the topic, they always think that sustainability is a cotton shirt would need to be, but it's much more, as Dirk mentioned. It's logistics, packaging, and also how we treat the people around us, how we can avoid poverty, where we do produce, can we make sure they all live a good life and they can live from what they are working. The whole frame is bigger than just the cotton t-shirt. Technology has changed everything, the way we consume, the way we sell, the way we present, the way we communicate, and it's going rapidly, it's fast in development. So what we are doing, we have different kind of content formats. Mrs. Sung Jung Kim was invited, she was always one of our super special guests. Dirk was on stage as well, and we were actually focusing on technology and what it does to the industry and to us as humans as well. And it's good and it's in a bad way. I mean, artificial intelligence is scaring me. Okay, it's so interesting on the one hand, but it's also scaring me. And then on the other hand, we can reach out and use technology in the best way. We have, for example, we work with different companies who are just virtual fashion. And it also helps to be more sustainable. For example, if you produce a collection and you can use 3D software, you don't produce so much collections anymore. Back in the days, each brand was, I don't know, producing 25, 30 collections, sending it through all the world and again and again and again. That can stop, So we can also use technology in the best way to support our sustainable development goals.
We learned how to design differently. I mean, the resources that are saved through that is amazing. I think that the consumer cannot imagine what we save there as a company using a different software to design. And of course, technology, the way we are selling products, especially in this year now where stores were closed. I mean, we needed to switch also to become, to use technology in order to stay in business. And I believe people that ignore that and say, well, I mean, we've always done it like this, it always worked. You see them disappearing. Very simple. It's a brutal world out there, and sustainability and technology go basically hand in hand.
We have this Premium Young Designers Award, which we have since the beginning of Premium. It's been, I think, 18 years now just for the award being at all. And what we see is that they actually, how to say it in a nice way, they think that the high of their career is doing a fashion show, okay, and being on Instagram. So that is what many people do. What I think is they should have a clear, first of all, if they want to design, they should really think about, do I just want to design and be creative? So I work for a company, which is super nice, to work in a nice team, to have a backing, so you don't need to take care of all the other things around. If you decide to make your own collection, then you are firstly an entrepreneur rather than a designer. And I think this is one thing. Then once you go the step, you decide to be an entrepreneur, for example, okay, then you must be clear that you have to take care of everything, and it's not just a fashion show which makes you being successful. It's actually more, who I want to reach out. What, if I take care of the society, what is my story? What kind of story I want to tell? Who I want to reach out? Do I need to follow all the trends outside, or can I listen inside? It's my voice inside, okay, loud enough, or not, it doesn't need to be loud, but clear enough to put it into a collection.
There are so many great designers out there who make great collections, but they are not evolving. And I think that I believe in creativity, and I also believe in when people come out with a collection, and some people might say like, oh, who it's so radical, who would ever wear that? There is definitely always someone who will wear it, but you need to be very clear that it's not only for yourself.
Well, the question is, since I started, okay, there was a question actually why I started, because back 20 years ago, there was in Düsseldorf in Germany, it was the biggest trade show for over 40 years, I think 45 years, for women's wear, and in Cologne, there was a menswear collection, and it was dominated by old white men. And I thought, oh my God, how can it be that we don't see this? So then we decided to go to Berlin and to start something else and to revolutionize the trade show concept successfully with it. And since then, I've been asked each and every season, oh, are trade shows relevant? Yes, they are. And after the pandemic, I don't think anyone will ask me again. We are humans. We need to connect. You need the exchange. You need to be inspired. You need to be taught. Sometimes you're inspired just by people, by the energy. What trade shows change? It's not anymore the sales rep and the buyer who are placing orders. You don't need an order place anymore. That has changed for sure. You need a complete integrative concept. You need to reach out to the whole audience of the fashion ecosystem. And I believe strongly in communications and in meeting people. And I personally, I love people. I mean, it's nice to see you digitally, but I would rather drink a coffee with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the trade shows, yes, they are relevant because all the nice virtual reality that we needed to live in the past year, looking at products, and I'm not a buyer, you know, like, and I love to meet people. I love to talk to people in person. I love to see products, garments in person, touch them, see them in 3D. And yes, technology is amazing, and it made it possible that we could sell anything this year. So, but the reality is the human interaction is beating every virtual digital video call.
Oh, my kids every morning. My husband.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a happy person anyway, but when I wake up in the morning and I have my husband, a lovely husband, and my twin daughters with me, that makes me just being the most grateful person on earth.